Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 3 Kappa Mode. Before we get into the video, I want to ask you all to make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave comments on what you think I need to be doing, any advice you have, all those great things. Also, make sure to check out my Twitter for updates on videos and stuff like that. And also join the Discord to just chill and chat if that's more your style. Also, if you are into live streams every Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 4 Eastern Standard Time, I am live with some games. The schedule is on my Twitch, which you can also see. All the links to those things are in the description. And let's get into some actual, what this episode's supposed to be about. So, in case you haven't already realized, got the Mantle of the Stars, the Vicio one. I did it off camera because I had to do a bunch of astral stuff for something that's in that chest right now that I'm going to show you in a second. So since I had to do that, I got the mantle. I also put mending on it. Not that it matters, just so that we could keep it. It's kind of okay armor. It's not. I'm not really using it as armor. It's more just there so that I can get creative flight. Though I will say, I thought I could use it in, since it isn't the bottled creative flight thing. I thought I could use it in the Erebus, and in Twilight you cannot. Does not work. I don't need to show you guys, but it doesn't work. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But in case you haven't noticed already, also we clean this all up. We don't really have a use for the digit miner at the moment, which is why I might, going forward, go and where's that? New. We might want to get the aroma mining dimension up and running, just so that we can use it in there, because that's pretty much where all the resources we need at the moment are. So let's go through and collect a couple quests from last time. All of these things. Some of these I did off camera mainly. There was a couple, I think, this dual core one and the press circuits. The rest of these we did on camera. I just need to collect them all up. That's a lot of RAK. We have a lot of this. Something we should also look into when we do that aroma mining dimension is getting the next tier of our sword, which we just need to kill the tarantula, brood mother or boss or whatever. But yeah, for now, let's not worry about that. Let's get into what we want to do this episode. So I off camera got together all the stuff we should need to make up. What did I just do? Did I? That range is so far. I want to get into ME, like proper ME, and I've got the stuff together to make 4 of these controllers. It's going to give us a quest completion as well, which we won't collect our quests until the end of the episode. What did I do in Moo? Oh yeah, we had to make these spacious crystals for we needed to make spacious crystals to make the crystal clusters for these things. The crystal clusters needed spacious crystals, so I had to make like a stack of those. Alright, so first things first in regards to this, we need to decide where we're going to set it up. I think I already know. So I want to kind of make my auto crafting, because I have all the stuff together, in case you didn't notice, for auto crafting as well. I want to kind of set up my auto crafting down here. Oops. One block too many. Yeah. So we're going to set up. Actually, let's go do the rest of the crafting and then I'll come back down here. I just wanted to set that up so you guys could see it. So I have a bunch of other stuff that we're going to craft. So this is the drive bay stuff. The biggest pain here was just the dark by metal gears, really. That was the only thing that took a substantial amount of time. So this is for our drive bay. I have not gotten the stuff together yet for the actual drives. Let's go back to our quest just so we can see, make sure we complete them in an order so that we can do them all. Yeah. So next thing up on our plate These are all auto crafting things. I mean, most of this stuff is for auto crafting. Because that's the only real reason I want ME right now is for the auto crafting. Here's the things I was making. So there's 16 of these interfaces. I don't think that's a quest. Or maybe it is, but it's not. No, it doesn't seem to be a quest. Okay. Just want to make sure. That was for, what was that for? These things? Yeah. I don't think I was supposed to make that many of those. So 4 molecular assemblers to get started. It's not a lot. Probably could use more, but it's okay. And these things were really cheap, these crafting units. And I can just make one crafting storage. I mean, I'm not going to make a 1K, but I'll make a crafting storage, and then we can just make a lot of coprocessors. It's not called ME, it's called applied. Where are they at? These things. Coprocessors. It's just the engineering processor, which is like nothing. We have plenty of them. Yeah. So I need to take a little bit of time. Well, actually, we need a pattern terminal, at least an ME crafting terminal and a pattern terminal. Those are the two we need for sure. There's other ones we could use, but those are the two we really need. And I think those are the ones required for the quest as well. Just the crafting terminal, okay. But still. Alright. So I'm going to get the stuff together for those. And also, since none of this is really useful without drives, let's quickly look at drives. Just so I can tell you a couple things about them. Then we'll go off and work on that. These are spatial drives. Where are the storage drives? Or were the storage drives in there too? Yeah, 1K, okay. So 4Ks require a capacitor each, and they are used to make 16Ks. I will have enough capacitors, I believe, to make a full set of 16K. Yeah, I do. A full set of 16K drives. So the goal for us this stream is we're going to fill this thing with 16K drives. I don't know if that's enough to store everything that's in here. Actually, I don't necessarily know that we're going to reach that. Let's see. I mean, that's going to be pretty good storage to start with. We should be able to store everything of ours. So I'm going to run off camera real quick and craft up some stuff that we need. And then bring you guys back when we have all this together to craft our stuff. I also kind of want to make a 16K crafting storage because a 1K crafting storage is not going to allow us to do any auto crafting. So yeah, that's the plan, and we'll be back in a little bit. So yep, see you then. All right, guys, we're back. So I think I have everything together. We're going to see in a second when we start crafting. Let's hope this is enough stuff. So we need 2 of these. Set that on the floor for a second. 1 of them, or well, 2 of them need to become crafting terminals. Just store those for now. Did a little off-camera work. I set up an area for us to put our ME stuff once we get it all set up. And looking at the storage, we'll definitely be able to remove those now. Just need to grab a crafting table. I think I have another one in here. Yeah, okay. That's plenty. We just need to get a crafting terminal, and then, well, I guess we need to make 2 of these. Because one of them is going to stay a crafting terminal, and one's going to become a pattern terminal. Now we just pull out our pattern terminal. I don't think there's a quest for that one. pull some cables out just so we can set these down. We also have a third one of these illumination panels we can use for any stuff we don't already. Pattern terminal craft table. We can use for another terminal if we need it. Okay, so now let's get into making our 16K storage. So we can make, we need 54 of these to make our 16K storages. I believe that's the exact number. But we'll keep the stuff on us for later for when we decide we're going to make more. Now for these ones, need all 18. And then I need to grab some glowstone. There we go, 6 of those. And that's going to complete another quest. We're not going to go for 64 into any of these more absurd ones. This one, we would just lower the number. Essentially, we could be as technically make 2 64Ks for what we have. But the problem is we have a lot of different types of things. More than we do a lot of things. Most of our like mass storage is like in here, which we can just kind of put a transfer bus, which I'll do that off camera. I'll throw a bus on this one and the one downstairs, and then it'll be able to access that stuff without having to store it in the ME network. So essentially, we don't need to really do. And I have enough to make all 6 of those into drives, which is not a quest, but I'm just going to throw those in there. And this actually has more storages than I thought it did. 6 is enough drives for us for now, but this thing can hold 10 drives. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's good to know for future reference. Now I want to probably make 2, 3, as many of these as we can. I don't know how many this is. How many of these does that make? That makes a single 16K. Probably off camera. Well, let's throw this in our. Kind of want to make. So we have 16 of these, and I want to figure this out. I kind of want to make 2 of these into this. Is there a quest for any of those crafting things? Doesn't appear so. Okay. And I want to keep one of those aside and turn the rest of these into coprocessors. Okay. Let's take this downstairs and do a little bit of, oops, went too far. A little bit of figuring out. So let's set it up like here, I guess. So it has to be in a square shape. And if we set up. Okay, so we can't use one of these at the moment because we just don't have the shape for it, but we could throw another 16K crafting storage here and make 2 kind of multi-block structures, and we can just make more coprocessors later. So I probably am going to jump off camera real quick and do that, but before we do that, I kind of want to see if we can do one other quick quest because we're starting to run late into the video. Where is it at? Oh, here. Okay, so we're going to need this dense smart cable for sure. Needs covered cable. Okay, this is actually not as hard as it was in previous packs. Put that away. And we also have some of these to set up off auto crafting, which I'll explain something about in a little bit. Let's grab a stack of wool. Can make a stack of these. These become dense covered cable, and then these can become dense smart cables. We add a stack of redstone. Dense smart cables. thought that made more. Chicken. Oh, that's in the thing. Okay. And then the smart cables are just covered cables with the redstone and glowstone. Which I think I have everything to do. And we're just doing this to finish up the quest. Really. I mean, I'm going to set up a complex network thing in a little bit, but I want to, at the moment, just complete this quest. That's the only reason I'm doing this. So that's our ME cables done. So these allow for 32 channels. This is going to allow us to set up. So I want to explain this while I'm on camera. We're going to set up P2Ps on all of those. I mean, we need to, it's a little more complicated than just setting up a P2P, but we are going to try and set up a P2P on every single one of those blocks we can, and then we'll have a P2P for this section, ending at that. We'll have a P2P that's running down there. We'll have a P2P for each of these ME or different things that we're gonna need to autocraft from. So yeah, including one for this because I didn't have a way of automating this. Yeah, so that's the plan. Yeah, so I'm gonna quickly run off camera and make the other 16K we need for this crafting unit so that we can get it set up, and then I will wire all of this up and bring you guys back to see it because, well, probably bring you guys back to see the P2Ps. All right, yeah, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, we should have everything together now to get into crafting up our next, or well, starting our next big project. Make like 26 of those. That should be enough, right? So a couple things we need. We need one of these cards because that's going to be useful for us later. I've crafted up everything else we need. Aside from some black dye that's on the go at the moment. There's some, oh, can't use those. Yeah, so we're going to start making some black dye in here. Just because I need some black dye. So I like to dye the cables in a way to indicate what they are for. So in the case of my normal setup, I would take, and I learned this from someone else. I did not come up with this myself. This is something someone else explained to me. I usually use green for my active lines. So, oops. So the lines coming right off of here into the P2Ps will be that, and then I use black for the lines that are not dead, but they're not carrying anything other than the P2P. So generally how you do this is this. We're only going to really set up one this time. Off camera I'll go ahead and set up the other ones. And yeah, that counts as an air block. I was just making sure because it was going in, it kind of goes into the thing. Okay. And then you just throw one of these on each black cable, linking back in. And now we can pretty much send this out wherever we want. And the setup is pretty simple. So now that we, oops, put a cable thing on there. That's a pain in the ass. Oh, need to remove those from my hotbar because that's a pain. These things are much harder to break than the cables. All right. So as I was saying, I'm going to take this up to here. And the P2P that's going to be over here is actually going to be used for a couple of different areas. It's not just going to be used over here. A little bit messy, but that's the trick. And it's very unnerving to break these cables because they make that glass breaking noise every time you break them. Okay. But now we just need to throw this. And generally you put one of those on there to indicate so that you can see how many channels you have left, essentially. Also, I need to make up some of the green of the other cable. Where's the other cable at? Come on, I had it over here, didn't I? Alright, we just need a little bit of the green of the other cable. 8 will probably suffice. Oh, that's the black. Oops. Like I was saying, 8 will probably suffice for this simple setup that we're working on now. Right. And we need to remove these two pieces because another cool thing that this cable will do. Well, let's set it to P2P and then I'll show you. Okay. So we need to take that. Go. Now this should have power and all the channels it should need, as long as I did it right. Which it seems like I did. And let's throw that on there. Yes. And that was the reason I wanted to do this, because not just because I like the green color, but also because it's very useful for differentiating between whether it's a P2P cable just running or if it's something we're actually using. So like this one has 3 channels used. We can do a lot more of these P2Ps on here, but right now these 3 should work. So off camera, this is what I want to talk about next. Off camera, I'm going to try my best, and I will at the beginning of next episode talk you through what we did. I'm going to try my best off camera to set up. Well, first of all, set up some storage because we do need to set it up to store some of the. I have to put this card away too. I need to set up storage buses on that and on that, and also I want to set up or remove these and put this into the thing. Try to go around, clean up some like chests that I have randomly sitting around here, like the one for the constellation paper I didn't know was back here. Yeah, just generally clean everything up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. And then also, which I will do this off camera because I don't want you guys to have to sit and watch it, and like I said, I'll explain it at the beginning of next episode. Set up an automation for one of the biggest pains for us right now, and what really is limiting us from doing as much as I'd like to with ME. That being these capacitors. These capacitors, the transistors, and the PCBs. The PCBs, which are the 3 biggest bottlenecks right now. If I can automate those, I think we will be pretty well set up for the future. So that will be my goal off camera, and when I come back next time, we will show that off and hopefully advance our autocrafting. Oh, listen, before we go, let me just tell you, because I didn't have time to set it up. Actually, we'll probably set up most of that autocrafting on camera. But forgot to set this up. These are all going to need to be wired up, and they'll take up a P2P as well. And that's the basic autocrafting setup I'm going with. This is probably more efficient, but yeah. Okay. So I will be back next time, and we will get into some more ME automation. Either I'll set up the transistor automation off camera, or I will save it for on camera. You guys will just have to wait and see. But that's it for me today, and you're all free to leave. So yeah, goodbye, guys. No, honestly, you can leave. Goodbye.